Okay, we are going to talk about how to do interoperation between Linux and Windows. The objective is to do these few things. Okay, in Linux, you're going to install and set up FTP server, anonymous access only. Alright, install and set up Samba server for Windows shares, install and set up Telnet server for remote access. From the Windows point of view, we are going to install and set up Active Directory, configure DNS server, a little bit more from what you have learned before, a little bit more. Install and configure DHCP, how to create a dynamic host configuration protocol server, enable printer sharing, and enable remote access via terminal services. Okay, this will be part 2. I'll cover this tomorrow. Alright, we'll try to cover this today. Okay, so I'm going to do a demonstration first. I'm going to use the same image as you used last Tuesday. Debian. The only difference is that there's only one network card, and this network card is going to be net instead of host only. I'm going to let you go to internet. Alright. Okay. Ensure that we have internet access from a Debian server. Okay, how do I do that? First of all, I have to again demonstrate to you network adapter 1 only. Okay, and it's NAT. So I have internet access. Alright, secondly, I must let your network card be DHCP to be able to get the address automatically. Currently, I taught you how to assign address, correct? Now I'm going to teach you how to let automatic assign. Alright. So if you forget the command, okay, pico etc network interface, pico etc network interface. Okay, you realize I got ETH1, ETH0. Okay, let me come out from here first. Okay, we see the interfaces we have first. ETH0 only, you only got 1 because I already removed the ETH1 already. Okay, so I'll go pico etc network interface again. I'm going to remove all this because there's no need for ETH1. Alright. Okay, I don't want to erase all this first. I'm going to leave it as it is first. What I'm going to do is I'm going to comment it. Okay, put a hex in front of comment. Hex to comment. Hex means to comment, it will not run. It just tell information is there only. And I'm going to change this to, can you guess? DHCP. So it makes my network card to get the address automatically from a server. Okay, so I'm going to save. Yes. Now I'm going to restart networking. Service, networking, stop, start. Okay, by right you should be able to get an IP address. Here we are. Okay, IP if config ETH0. Look at this, my address is now 192.168.119.19129. This is a DHCP address. Alright. Okay, secondly, I need to install from the internet. Okay, there's two ways, there's a lot of ways to install the Debian packages. Okay, the easiest way, of course, use CD. Okay, but the services that we need over here, not all on the same CD. So a bit illogical for me to give you 8 gig of CD just to install these 3 services. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the sources so it goes to the internet to download the packages. Alright, so the command to do is we're going to edit the file. Remember, in Linux everything is a file. All the configuration are a file. Okay, so I'm going to type pico etc apt sources. Okay, you realize when it's blue color, it is commented out. The not blue color, it is being used. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for I'm going to type in myself look for one that's easy to do. Okay, I'm going to type in this that http mirror NUS. Why I use NUS? Because it's Singapore, it's faster. Alright, Debian. You realize this is big D and this is small d. Why? Because in the repos it's a big D. It makes a difference. Okay. Squeeze main main. Then I'm going to comment out the CD-ROM. Okay, save. Yes, same name. After that, what do? I go refresh the repository. Apt-get update. Hey, if there's no errors, you will see something like this. If there's an error, it's typically a typo error. See? If you type correctly and there's no errors, you'll get this. Okay? If you get an error, means you cannot find the mirror NUS. Alright? Any questions on this? Okay, now that we have set our package to be able to receive from the internet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to download the packages now. 3 packages to download. One of them is VSFTP, Telnet-D, as well as Samba. Okay, how do we go about doing it? Very simple. Just type this apt apt-get install VSFTP-D. You go out and get the file. Alright. apt-get install telnet D. Don't forget to put a D behind. Yes. Done. Now we're going to install Samba. Apt-get install Samba. Okay, Samba is slightly different. Samba, we want to know the work group name. Okay, at the moment, we're going to leave it as work group because it's the default work group name for the Windows work group. So leave it as work group. Alright. Okay, what do I mean by work group? Is this one. Oh, here. This is the meaning of the work group in Samba. Is this work group. If I change this to ITE, I'm going to change to ITE also. Alright. Sorry. Okay, once I'm done already, I do not need internet access anymore. I change it back to local network. Okay, so how do I do it? Settings. Again, I put the LAN segment. This time I want to have local. Local. Alright. Once it's local already, I go in and go Pico etc networks interface. Alright. Any questions up to now? Okay, yeah. Now we change back to what it was before, static. Remember, I still do not delete all this away, correct? Now I remove the hex. It becomes active again. and I want to have address of, okay, 30.1 we go, okay, fine. Save. And again I restart the server. The services, sorry. Service networking. Stop. Start. Okay. Now I do if config. See my IP address 30.1. Okay, at this point of time, okay, I'm going to configure my FTP. Okay, whatever I just now it is. Except this 100, I use 30. Okay, let's change this to 30. Make the video more meaningful. Alright. So as I said, every configuration in whether FTP, Telnet or Samba is all in a text file. So we just have to edit the text file. Okay, again, pico etc vs ftp config. Oh, okay. So it's just this. Enter. Okay. Then we scroll down and look for allow anonymous access. Yes, right access. Okay, we look for this line local enable. Yes, uncomment this to allow local user.con. So we uncomment. How do you uncomment? Take away the hex. That's all. Save. Yes. Then we restart the service. Alright. So how do we test? Very simple. We FTP to ourselves. 192.168.3.31. Okay. We can't FTP to ourselves as root. We gotta create user first. User at, I'm at this portion now. -m new user. Password new user. Okay. FTP 192.168.31 new user. Here we are. Root, if you don't do any configuration, it will not be able to log on into FTP. You must create user specifically to do that. Okay, so your job is done. Once you see this, once you see this FTP in, login successful, done. Okay, to exit is bye. As in bye bye. Bye bye. Okay, so this is FTP. Telnet 192.168.31. Telnet, not much configuration to be done. Alright, once you see this screen, it's done already. Okay, new user. Here we are. Okay, you cannot see the impact now. I'm going to open up another server to show you how is it done. Okay. Okay, configuring Samba is slightly more difficult. Okay. Samba uses another password file, which is Samba password. So I have already created new user. Change the password for new user. I'm going to create a new Samba password. Okay, SMB PASSWD new user. New Samba password. It can be the same, it can be different. Did I type wrongly? Just give me a minute. Okay, let me try this again. Command is supposed to be Samba password -L -A new user. Alright, so effectively creating another password for this new user to be used in Samba. So what does all this means? We have installed FTP, we have installed Telnet, we have installed Samba. So what does all this means? Alright, so it means is that first of all, we still have to configure Samba. Pico etc Samba conf. Alright, then we can look for certain settings. Most of the settings are already there for you already, so don't do anything much. You look for this okay, we are supposed to find under share definitions. Okay, in the homes, browsable. Yes, that's all. Okay, so I'm gonna put it in here. Okay, so this should be clear enough. Homes browsable, yes. And the rest, leave it as by default. Save. Yes. Done. Restart Samba server. Done. We have created a lot of things today. This is to test parameters. This is not necessary. It's just to see whether the parameters are done correctly or not. Test pump. Okay, you see all these are the share things that you're going to list out. Alright. Okay, now I'm going to open up my Windows server. I'm using back the same images that we used before. Okay, before I start, I change it to local. We want it to be the same network. Then play. What's my IP address here? One 192.168.31. So I want to put my Windows 2008 server as 30.2. 30.2. We just simply assign IP address to it. How do you change the IP address? Configure networking. This should be very familiar to you. 192.168.30.2. Okay, because we are using the same network, is immaterial to us, the gateway. Okay, IP address set. Let's do a ping. Have. Possible. Now, remember we installed Telnet, we installed FTP. It's time for us to try now. FTP, my Linux server. 30.1, correct? Here we are. New user. Login successful. I do a listing. Nothing inside there. I go to my Linux. Okay. FTP user, new user has a home directory. It's in the home directory. So we cd home. The username is new user. Nothing. We create a file. This is just for test only. It's not necessary for you to do it. Just for your test to show you that it works. Do a listing. There's a hello world file there. We FTP to the other server so they can download this file. If I want to download this file, can I do it? Can. I use the command get hello world. Got ready. Then I buy. Then I do a directory listing in Windows. This is how I download files. Usually I download files from my FTP server, correct? So I can even do this. FTP 192.168.30.1. Then I can even log in as new user. Here we are. Same thing. This is how FTP server works. Alright. I'm going to move on to Telnet. Telnet is even easier. Telnet 192.168.30.1. Oh, in Windows Server there is no Telnet command. Just now we have FTP. Now we type Telnet 192.168.30.1. It's a bit slower. Okay, user, we log in as. Okay, the keystroke is a bit different here. You cannot backspace. New user. Remember, you cannot turn it as root. You must use a user to turn it in. Here we are. This is Windows. This is Linux. Okay. Turn it done already. Simple enough. Turn it no configuration. Just install only. Nothing to configure. Okay. That's it. Now come the more important one. Is how do you access your Samba? We can ping 192.168.130.1. What's the host name of my Debian? Host name is Debian. My computer name is Debian. So my Windows will recognize Debian also. So if I ping Debian, it gives me what IP address? 192.168.30.1, which is my Debian IP address. Okay, because I activated Samba, it is broadcasting the network name now, which is Debian. Okay, so I'm going to do this. New user. Can you see now? These are my shares. Hello world. And now I can even do this. Right click, map my network drive. Remember your sharing, your file sharing. And if I open my computer, it's a drive in Windows, exactly as how you do a Windows file sharing, except that my host is Debian, and I don't think I can write anything to it. Okay, so this is how it works for Linux to configure these three things: FTP, Samba, and Telnet. So of all these three, this is the easiest, followed by this, followed by this. Okay, a lot of you will get mixed up here. Okay, this is rather important. Okay, so I will recommend that we do this here. Then everything be smoother. Okay, so this is the end of the Linux portion. The other video will be on the Windows portion, which will cover this. I don't need to cover, correct? We'll cover these 4 things. This is much easier.